Thanksgiving isn't just about the turkey and mashed potatoes. It's about a time to remember and be grateful for all the things in our lives. And just remember that gratitude is more than just attitude. Believe it or not, gratitude can make you a better spender, saver, and sometimes even a better long-term planner. Let me grab Walt and we'll dive right in.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody, on Power Your Retirement. I'm Walter Storholt, as always, joined by certified financial planner Steve Smit. And on this show, we're going to help you better prepare for your financial future and, of course, retirement. But it's the holiday week as we release today's episode. Thanksgiving is basically right around the corner, Steve, later this week. And we thought it would be fun to kind of zoom out, take a look at what we're thankful for from a financial perspective. And, of course, we can share some personal thanks as well. Before we dive into all that, any big fun Thanksgiving plans for you and yours?
Oh yeah, we do our annual turkey trot. So the whole family, all
nice.
of us, get out and run the 5K, and then we usually don't like breakfast before a big run like that. So afterwards, we'll
not advised, right?
And some oatmeal or something like that, something light, and then we head over and do our big Thanksgiving tradition, in the early afternoon. It's a wonderful day of football and family and fun and a little run.
Nice. Oh, that sounds amazing. I'm excited for you.
Yeah. My goal is to beat my boys, but it's not looking good, Walt.
Yeah, they're like juniors in high school, so they may be.
And in sports and track and everything else, it's
just a little bit more spry, perhaps.
Yes. If I use their little electric scooter, I think I can pull it off.
There you go. Yeah. Or just look for a couple of shortcuts on the course, or you drop back a little bit and then hop in somebody's car and then, drive up a little bit further ahead.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to lose. But you know what? Maybe there's always hope. Maybe I'll get closer.
There you go. I love it. Well, hope you enjoy the day and certainly maybe even an extended weekend with the family and getting everybody together. And same to all of our viewers and listeners as well. As for today's topic, we're talking about being thankful, but it's not just to be thankful for thankful's sake, although there's certainly plenty of good things that go along with that, right? We shouldn't need a whole lot of extra motivation to be thankful this time of year, but kind of some interesting research out there, Steve, shows us that there's kind of some extra cool benefits, I guess, to being thankful, specifically from a financial planning standpoint. They've actually done some research on this kind of stuff. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. And just a couple comments on just Thanksgiving in person. I just want to tell everyone, I'm sure you're doing some version of a dinner or family or fun or whatever it is, that maybe it's an event, a hike, who knows what it is, what your tradition is. But whatever that is, just make sure that you take a little bit of time to be thankful for whatever in your life, because thankfulness is more than just a holiday. It's more than just a weekend. It's more than just a meal. It affects us year long, and that's what this research was really going after with gratitude in financial behaviors. Several years ago, it was the Journal of Psychological Science revealed that inducing a state of gratitude significantly increased participants' financial patience. Patience, the kind that runs a little thin with newborns, Walt. You might be experiencing that right now.
Yes.
But I digress. Financial patience by about 12%. So Walt's going to be extra gratitude, extra thankful, all of those things this Thanksgiving with his newborn. So just wanted to throw that out into the open world. The cutest little baby ever is what my wife said.
Pretty much, I don't have to think very hard for what I'm thankful for at the Thanksgiving dinner table this year, right?
Oh, that's great. Congratulations, Walt. Just wanted to throw that in there.
Thank you.
Yes. But by 12%. And what I've found in working with clients and in my own life and things that I've held back, there's been lots of things that I want: a bigger house, get that car a little sooner. You can do more financing, whatever the temptation is. By holding that back, and requires some patience. But if we're grateful for where we are in life and how we got here and who got us here, and if we really take a moment, we'll not only get 12% more patience, but what I've observed is a piece of contentment comes with that process as well. So I think that would be something wonderful to focus on, not only in this holiday season, but being grateful and having gratitude will make us a little more well-rounded and be more content
Yeah.
and more patient. So who doesn't want more patience and more contentment in their life?
We'll take all those things. So if gratitude leads to patience and contentment, I would imagine that those things lead to better financial decisions. So you can see how this gives you a little bit of a boost in your financial life. So let's talk about some of those specifics in the financial world that we should be thankful for and have this gratitude for, Steve. The first thing I'm thinking of, if you're working or even if you're not, income would be a pretty easy thing to be thankful for if we're talking about finances specifically.
Yes, I think about that government shutdown, not just the one that happened this year, but also in previous years.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going right along and getting that 2 week paycheck, and all of a sudden you still get to work and don't get a paycheck. That's kind of rough. I'm sure those employees are very thankful for that paycheck that came back and hopefully was paid back for all those weeks that they worked. But income is a really important thing. And sometimes we can even take it for granted because it's just direct deposited there every 2 weeks or once a month or once a quarter or whatever your cycle is. But when it doesn't show up, it's kind of full stop red flag. And we need to make sure that we're not only being thankful for our jobs and having purpose and good work to do, whether that's at home or whether it's out in the community, that we need to take a moment to really remember, what we have and what it allows us to do. So the income
Yeah.
is really a critical thing that is so easy to take for granted. And it's great to take stock of it and be grateful for it.
Yeah, the recent government shutdown, that was a great point because even if you weren't affected by it, it probably made you grateful for perhaps the stability of your working situation or the regular income that you may have coming in retirement. I think all of us can try to put ourselves in those shoes of those paychecks stopping, especially right before the holidays, and having some empathy for what that's like to go through as an employee. So definitely something to be grateful for this year.
Agreed.
Next on our list of things to be grateful for in your financial life are past mistakes. Now, this one might take some coaxing, I think, for folks to get on board with. Steve, we don't like to. I think this is one of those things we don't like to be thankful for our past mistakes, right? We don't want to reflect on those too much.
Very, very true. One of my early on in the business mentors, Dave Ramsey, calls it stupid tax. So I'd like to rebrand that, but I got to give him the credit because that's where I got it from, out of one of his books. It's stupid tax that you have to pay. But the great part is that when it hits you, whether you call it tax, because that's the part that I really don't like, taxes. But if you can learn from it and become better from it, it's the way to go. And so many times, I probably shouldn't air this out to the whole world, but I'm going to do it anyways. Well, I went to college, university, whatever, and my freshman year, it was, I got some scholarship and I'm doing good and I'm getting good grades. And then it was probably September out in the open area. It's nice weather still. You're playing Frisbee, hanging out, doing all that good stuff.
Out on the quad.
Yes. There's a tent there that says free pizza, and I am starving, and I'm already getting sick of the calf. So I go over there, free pizza. How great would that be? Guess what I ran home with, Walt?
I'm going to guess a credit card or something.
I did. I got my first Discover card.
Man, that's just mean. They got you in with. Usually the free pizza lure is to join a campus organization, not to get a credit card. Oh.
And I even successfully lied to myself and said I'll just pay it off every month. So I got to learn that the hard way. Thankfully, I only had a $500, I think it was, limit. So I figured that out real quick and it didn't really ruin me. I don't have some big story for you. But it's one thing that I learned early on without too much damage, that I'm thankful for that past mistake of taking on credit with not even thinking of it and just getting a $10 pizza in return. That wasn't the right thing to do.
I mean, this one really gets at the heart of a much deeper, and even outside the financial world, but a much deeper concept of grace and forgiveness of yourself for these mistakes, and just being aware that nobody's perfect. And we all are going to pay that stupid tax in some way, shape, or form, and probably more than once. The key is maybe trying to learn from those mistakes and not repeating the same mistakes over and over. I always say it's okay to make new mistakes. Just learn from them and try not to repeat the same ones, and you'll usually be, pretty okay when that's the case. So
Yeah.
I love your story, though. That's great. Nice that they only had the $500 credit. I feel like that should be, this is another conversation for another day, but that should be a pretty standard thing for a first-time applicant, like a really low limit to help people prevent you from getting in too much trouble, maybe. I don't know.
That was the early 90s. Things might be different today. I think they might leverage that up a little bit more. Those were early days.
But, that with inflation, that's $10K now, right?
Yeah. And that can get you into a lot more trouble.
That's right. All right, we won't let people dwell on their mistakes too long. We'll let them rebound for that. What about supportive relationships? Now, again, we could talk about that in the concept of your whole life, but specifically from a financial perspective, hopefully people could point to a few of these.
I'm gonna take this in a little bit different route than maybe I was going to.
Okay.
If you ask me on any random day, since it's Thanksgiving and friends, family, close people in your life, I'll focus on that. But just being thankful for my wife. She's a stay-at-home mom, and that's a lot of work. You're going to find that out really, really quick here with your first child there. But that, and as your family grows and things happen, things get more and more at home, and there's also appointments and things, and I'm really thankful for her, not for helping raise the family, but also for that as well, but also for enabling me to do what I do and freeing me up to do more things and focus. So I'm really thankful for her. And then I also, on that family, I'm also thankful for like neighbors and people in my church and people in the communities that the kids eventually went to school in. And just those people don't always get mentioned at the Thanksgiving table. Your wife will, but not necessarily those people that kind of surround you, helping you raise your kids. You help raise theirs. You're mindful of when they're at your house, or you're the coach, soccer coach, or whatever. It's just great to take stock of that. It's so easy just to let that flow through and just go, oh, look who's around the table, all our friends and closest family. But it takes a village to raise children. It takes a village to build a business. And I'm just thankful for all those maybe minor actors that really had big impact.
Yeah. I can point to one here. I'm very supportive, a very supportive relationship that I'm thankful for from a financial perspective was my grandmother on my mom's side. She's the one who, I think I've told stories here on the podcast before, who, gifted us, instead of toys and things like that growing up, savings bonds. And then when we got a little bit older, stocks. She would buy, back in the 90s, 10 shares of Disney or something like that. And that would be our gift for the year, for birthday or Christmas, or maybe combined. And she taught, she passed on that financial legacy of being cognizant of planning for retirement. She's the one that helped open up my Roth IRA when I got my first job. Things like that. I think it was for high school graduation. Maybe that one was for. So she just passed this year, and so that's going to be someone else I'm holding close at Thanksgiving this year, and especially, obviously, more than the financial context. But since that's sort of our umbrella conversation today, that'll be someone who's very important and close to me, and what they passed on from a financial legacy standpoint. I'll be thinking of Noni at Thanksgiving this year as one of those supportive relationships. So, and I like the ones that you reflected on too, Steve. So that's great.
It's so important to have somebody mentor, the young ones. It really is. And I'm sure we'll do a whole episode at some point on how to do that custodial Roth IRA that you mentioned. And it's not just about what that will grow into. It's establishing that investing habit young. Because if you can get that going, you can just change someone's life. It's so great. Because in the moment, they're going to love that G.I. Joe collection with Sky Striker and Cobra Rattler. but that's not going to change your life. What
That's right.
what they invested in you is forever. So thanks for sharing that. That's great.
Yeah, 1,000%. Let's talk about the home. Obviously, something we can be thankful for. That's a classic Thanksgiving around the dinner table answer, right?
I love home, and home is it's a special thing. Everybody thinks of it as a house. Well, a house is just a house. A building is just a building, but a home is what people coming together, sharing a place is. It's a place of peace, a place of rest, a place to break bread and laugh, maybe watch a movie. I mean, there's all these things that we do: plan, laugh, cry. All of this happens, in that safe place. And I'm thankful for it for sure, but I think it's a good offering to our viewers to not just take for granted where you're having Thanksgiving in the home. Maybe it was the home you grew up in, maybe it's a home that you live in, but a home is a special place of a gathering of people.
Yeah, well said. No need to expand on that one further. Last but not least on our list of things to be thankful for from a financial perspective this year is the future. How do we define that one?
So that one, I'll go a little more financial on this one. I've purposely for Thanksgiving not gone as deep on the financial side today. Well, just because I want my viewers to just take a moment and pause, and that gratefulness will just pay dividends throughout every area of your life if you can make it a practice. But the future is about those dividends that are going to come down the way, because in this amazing, United States that we live in, and the ability to make something great, the ability to fail. I'm just grateful for the environment that we have, that we can go out and we're able to save, we're able to invest, we're able to plan, we're able to work and just take our skill set and what our strengths are and put them into some kind of practice for a reward. And you can come home and not only have that income we talked about before, but also bring home that paycheck and share it with the people you love. And just that promise that we have every day, that we can build that future, that goal, that dream, whatever it is that our viewers have in their mind right now. It's good to be thankful that we can have that dream and work towards a goal every day.
Yeah, I love that. And it's a great way to close things out, Steve. So please enhance that thankfulness this week as you go through and sit at the dinner table with family and friends, hopefully, and spend time with loved ones over the next couple of days. Remember that gratitude. But I like what you said earlier. Make sure that it's not just at Thanksgiving. Let's carry that grateful spirit on through the rest of the year as well, because it's going to pay massive dividends if you can make that just part of everyday life as well. If you have any questions from a financial standpoint, of course, you can always reach out to Steve. We'll get back to the heavier financial talk, I'm sure, coming up next week on the next episode. But in the meantime, if you go through the holidays this year and somebody's really inspiring you to make sure you're taking more control of your finances and your financial future and all that good stuff, don't hesitate to reach out to Steve. You can go to powerupyour401k.com. We've got it linked in the description of today's show, and you can get in touch with Steve and set up a review of your finances and portfolio that way. Steve, thanks for all the help, and happy Thanksgiving to you, and we'll chat soon.
Yes, happy Turkey Day, everybody. Bye now.
This podcast is provided by Powerhouse Financial Advisors, an independent firm with advisory services offered through Parsonex Advisory Services, Inc., PAS, a federally registered investment advisor. The information provided is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be considered as personalized investment advice. PAS does not guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or suitability of this information for your specific circumstances. Investment decisions should be based on an individual's goals, time horizon, and risk tolerance. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and all investments carry a degree of risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any case studies, testimonials, or endorsements shared in this podcast are illustrative of individual experiences and may not be representative of the experience of all clients. They do not guarantee future performance or success. You should not infer any level of assurance regarding future financial outcomes. Listeners should consult with a qualified financial, tax, or legal professional before making any investment decisions. Parsonex Advisory Services, Inc. does not provide tax or legal advice. Be sure to consult with your tax and legal professionals regarding your specific circumstances. For a copy of our Form ADV Part 2A, which provides additional information about PAS, including our advisory fees and services, please visit powerhousefinancialadvisors.com.